Hi, I'm Carol Guttery. I'm a volunteer for the communications team for American Pilgrims on the Camino, and we're here today to talk about a lesser known route of the Camino, the Via de la Plata. The Via de la Plata runs approximately 950 kilometers from Sevilla, Spain, to Santiago de Compostela, with two major variants, one going to Astorga and then connecting with the Frances and carrying on to Santiago, and the other one hanging a left and going through Ourense, meeting up with the Invierno and ending up in Santiago. It's called the Via de la Plata, which is the Silver Way, and it is known that the Romans built a road system through this region to carry precious metals that were being mined further north in Spain and taken down to the port in Cadiz. So, although it's more likely that it was gold that they were mining than silver, but Via de la Plata, the name has stuck. It's a long route and a historic one. And so there's a lot of really interesting things to see on the Via de la Plata, starting with Sevilla, which is a fantastic medium-sized Spanish city with a rabbit warren of cafes and also some really beautiful palaces with Moorish architecture and mosaic tiles. There's also, you can see Roman ruins in Merida. Salamanca, Spain, is hosts one of the oldest universities in Europe, and in my opinion, has one of the prettiest Plaza Mayores. And in Zamora, they have Romanesque architecture. And then, depending on which variant you take, Astorga has Gaudi-inspired architecture, and Ourense has hot springs. The terrain is interesting because this route is so long that it transits four different autonomous regions in Spain: Andalusia, Extremadura, Castilla y León, and Galicia. So you'll see quite a range in the landscape, but a lot of that will include wheat fields, olive orchards, holm oak woodlands, and then the typical forests and eucalyptus that you find in Galicia. How's the waymarking? It's good. There are regular waymarkers along the way. One thing to consider, though, is since you are transiting four different regions, you may see different kinds of markers in those different regions. And because this is a much, much lesser used route, you are less likely to have a fellow pilgrim like set you on the right path if you've accidentally taken a wrong turn. So it definitely behooves you to pay careful attention when you're on this route. When should you do it? Well, the southern portion of this route is very hot in the summer, so it's really not recommended to do it in that heat. A lot of folks start in spring, March, April, ending up in Galicia in Santiago in May. And you could also take a fall route as well, starting perhaps in September, ending in October. Um, so why should you do this route? It it's great for a couple of reasons. Only 1.6% of the people who end up in Santiago seeking a Compostela say that they have taken the Via de la Plata. So that tells you that stretched along these 950 kilometers, it is a very, very quiet route. You're not likely to find a lot of other pilgrims. It's a good route to do if you'd like a lot of solitude. It's not to say you won't see other pilgrims along the way, but it's not going to be chock-a-block for sure. This route also rewards folks who are really up for a physical challenge because not only is it quite long, there are also quite a few sections of this route where you will need to be able to do a 30-kilometer plus day just to get from one stage town to the next with not a lot of services in between. So be sure if you do this route that you're prepared for that. So it's got the quiet vibe. And outside of the larger cities, you're not going to find a lot of tourism infrastructure for English speakers. So if you've got some Spanish language skill or are comfortable using a translation app, that will actually serve you very, very well. So that's it for the Via de la Plata. If you would like more information, you can go to AmericanPilgrims.org, where we have a route overview for this route as well as many others. I'd like to thank Blaine Rada for helping us put this route together. It was his on-the-ground experience and his lovely pics that you've seen in this video that have allowed us to put this together. Blaine's a trained hospitalero. He's been a speaker at our annual gathering, and he is a member of the American Pilgrims on the Camino. So I would like to wish Blaine and you a buen camino.